Giana reporting for Kids First, and today I'm speaking with Quiara Alegría Hudes, the writer of the upcoming film Viva, releasing on Netflix August 6th. Ms. Hudes is known for her work as co-writer of the Tony Award-winning stage play In the Heights, for which she has also wrote the screenplay and co-produced the film version. Plus, she has won a Pulitzer Prize for her play Water by the Spoonful. Today we are talking about her new movie Viva, which premieres on Netflix August 6th. Welcome, Ms. Hudes.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay, let's get started. The first question is, this is not your first project with Lin-Manuel Miranda. What drew you to working on this animated feature Viva?
Well, we had really had a good time writing In the Heights together for Broadway. And so he also knew me really well by that point. And so when he wrote the animated movie Moana, he was like, Quiara, you're going to really like animated. You're going to like working on it because it's very collaborative. And I do enjoy artistic collaboration. So then he wanted to work with me on Vivo.
That's really cool that you know each other before that. As an accomplished writer of musicals, what do you feel makes this animated musical different from other projects?
Ooh, I love that question. Um, a lot of times musicals are really steeped in and about a tradition, like putting on a play or, you know, the greatest showman, like they're about traditions that happen in the performing arts. And so Vivo's like that a little bit because it's about one of the most really extraordinary musical traditions in the globe, which is Cuban music. But what I think makes it different is that then in comes a character named Gabby who isn't that interested in tradition. She's interested in doing her own thing, and the world can either catch up or not. She's not going to sit around and wait for the world to catch up. And so I think Gabby is one of the things that makes this super different. She's a wild child, and she's not a good girl. Kind of she's not like a princess. She's not the kind of female we're used to seeing in the lead of an animated movie. And so I think that makes it a little different.
It was different from other musicals and traditions, but makes it different and good.
Cool.
You have written a children's book, a children's stage play, and now a children's movie. What attracts you to writing for children?
It makes me feel young again. Like it's the same thing about being a mom, which is when I'm with my kids, I get into their vibe and into their energy, and it just makes me feel young again. I love how my kids, like, their attention is so immersive in whatever it is they're imagining or playing with, and then I lose like all the boring to-do list stuff in my mind, like, oh, I better go shopping for laundry detergent tonight. Like those sorts of concerns kind of melt away when I'm in a younger imaginative space.
Well, it's good to feel young again because being young is fun.
It is, yes.
As a mother of two, I'm curious what your children's response is to this film.
Interestingly, my son, who's 8, I think that people, interviewers I've spoken with, tend to think that Gabby is really important as a character for girls. But my son really likes Gabby too. So I don't think Gabby is just a character that's going to speak to girls. And one of the things he loves about it is that sometimes she's so loud and wild, she gets into trouble. Well, he relates to that a little bit. But in her song, the bridge of her song, goes into what the animators call the chalkboard world, and she gets a little quiet and she talks about, like, she actually has a lot of drama going on inside her heart, and my son loves that and he's really drawn to that. He calls that the inside space. And so actually by watching Gabby's song, like, he and I have talked about, like, what are the quiet things happening in our heart that we don't talk about as much with other people. And my daughter just cries. She's like sappy and a hopeless romantic, so she cries about the love song, and she loves Gabby's fierce energy, and yeah, she's just like an overall fangirl of the movie.
It's good that your children can connect to it and enjoy it. Often, writers draw inspiration from their own personal experiences when writing. What did you draw inspiration from for Viva?
I draw inspiration from especially the people in my life. I have always, from the time I was a kid, I would like eavesdrop on the grown-ups conversations, and I thought they were so cool and interesting. Um, so oh, um, so yeah, so Gabby is actually the inspiration for her is my little sister, whose name is actually Gabby, and who just got home. My whole family just got home. And she, for her, life was always a party and life was a celebration. And she was never going to apologize for being herself, even when it was hard being herself and people didn't get it. I found that very inspiring. And I was like, I want to write a character like that.
Using your sister as inspiration it is helpful to writing it.
Totally.
In this movie, Vivo has two special relationships, one with Andres and one with Gabby. How do you think the audience will connect to these two people that mean so much to Vivo?
I like it because the relationships feel really different. And you know how sometimes, like, depending on who you're with, a different side of you can come out. So I feel like with Andres, Vivo is so refined. He's such an extraordinary musician. He has so much panache and pride in his performance. Um, and then I feel like with Gabby, Vivo has to learn to relax and let loose. You know, like he has to not be so uptight, and he has to relinquish control and go with the flow. And so I really like the two different sides of Vivo we see depending on which relationship we're focusing on.
If they were all together, I wonder which side Vivo would show more, like the uptight side or the free side.
Yeah, good question.
Which character in Vivo was most fun for you to write for?
Probably Gabby. I mean, she's just really different, and I didn't have a lot of models to work with in terms of stuff that already exists in the culture and in the writing. So I got to be really free with my imagination. Um, yeah, like even when I was writing the character of Vivo, I had to make sure he wasn't too much like Usnavi in The Heights because Lynn is performing him, and some of the rhyme styles are similar. So I would be very conscious at times, like make sure he's really different than Usnavi. But with Gabby, like she wasn't like anyone. Like I could just do what I wanted with a lot of free expression.
Well, Gabby is a fun character, so why not have fun writing her?
Exactly.
What is your favorite song in the movie?
My Own Drum, which is Gabby's song. And I love the way they animated it. It's so creative and different. And one of the fun things is like, it just looks like you've gone into a different movie. It's like, oops, did I change the channel? How am I in this space? And it's because Gabby brought a whole new world to it.
I really enjoyed that song too. It's like one of my favorites. What message do you hope audiences will take away from watching Viva?
I'm so sorry. The screen froze for a second and I didn't hear your entire question. Could you ask it again?
And finally, what message do you hope audiences will take away from watching Viva?
I think there's something about Vivo, the movie, and second chances. You know, hopefully a lot of the kids won't relate to having a lot of regrets, but I'm guessing the grown-ups will relate to having some regrets. And it's not too late. It's never too late to take a new adventure in life, to find a new friend, to show a different side of yourself. So I hope that audiences take that away.
That is a great message. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thanks. It was so nice to chat.
I just talked with Quiara Alegría Hudes about the new film Vivo, which releases August 6, 2021 on Netflix. Be sure to check it out. I'm Giana, reporting for Kids First. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss my next interview or review or one of those of my awesome team members. Bye.
Keep the beat.